Good afternoon, Dr. Na, and welcome to the next installment of the Planet Foobar demo. Today we will be showing you our programmatically created levels, which are actually made from JSON objects. We've also added the ability to directly move back and forth between the main menu and the programming screen. You can also delete floppies, create floppies, all that fun stuff. So let's get into Planet Foobar. So we're currently in our title screen, and if you press down on our touchpad right now, this is actually a canvas with a movie on it. It's a Rickroll. So we'll move on from there. So that was just to show that we can put tutorial videos in eventually. We will fix that playing to the camera, and then you'll be able to view videos. Okay, so let's show what CJ did for the week. He got to play around with floppy disks, with creation and deletion, so he'll show you what he's doing. So now if you put a floppy disk on the terminal and press play, it'll ask you to create a name, and then if you press enter, it'll jump you back to the programming screen, which has some updates. There's some information from the player disk, so you can see that the information actually passes between scenes, so it's persistent. And then we can actually now go back to the main menu with a quick click of the button. You see now there's a CJ floppy disk on the table. So now if he wants to, for instance, just go back into his game. So let's play a game. Push play, loads back in. Okay, so let's try deleting CJ now. So if you just go there, you click delete, the player data is now removed from the floppy disk, and it no longer works. And if you click it again, click play, it'll ask you once again to create the name. So it's permanently gone. Don't accidentally click play or delete. Okay, so let's load in. So now we've loaded into the programming workspace. We've done some adjustments. So if you look off to the right, you can see we took your advice on the camera, moved it up and back, so now it's more of a third-person camera. If you click the right button, you can actually see the view changes a little bit. So here we got the behind-the-shoulder view for the robot. This is actually our dynamically created levels. So right now this is just our first example level. Let's switch back to the main screen. If you look to the left, we've now positioned the Skycam over the robot, so now you can actually get the grid overview, and you kind of can see how the level all pulls together. So added into the component toolbox for this week, we added in the for loops. So if you grab the for loop, if he turns on the laser first, there you go. So if you add the for loop, it will go, it'll pop. It's a little clipping right now. We have to do some adjustments to the graphics. You should be able to drop any of the numbers. Let's drop like a 4. So we'll drop 4 into it. So now that'll repeat 4 times. Let's make the robot spin. So let's put a turn under the repeat. Okay, so if he presses execute now, this robot should do a 360. There you go. So the robot is now spinning on the grid. Okay, so we now have the robot spinning on the grid. So let's make the robot move. So the repeat works. This is actually one of the bugs we're having right now, is the coroutines, when we pass multiple moves, it actually only reads 1. So if he clicks 1 run, it should move 3 blocks on the grid. Oh, I'm a liar. It now moves 5 blocks. Okay, so that's really close. So let's put the jump. Let's show that jump does more than once. So actually, let's just do 2 jumps, because jumps are pretty large. So you got to pull off the repeat. No, jumping with repeat. So put 1 jump and then two repeats, or or repeat with 2. So you just got moving around a little bit. Okay, so you move that, and then you got to move the repeat above it. What? Just 1 jump. Okay, so now it should jump twice if he presses when run. Okay, so the robot will jump twice. We still have to adjust the movements to the grid now that we're using a grid system. So unfortunately, we have jumped over our objective. So now let's turn around. So that should rotate him 180 degrees, and it does. And now let's just walk straight into the objective. So when the robot comes within the distance of within 1 block of the robot, it should pop up a scoring screen and tell you that you have completed the level. So you click when run, and bam. So now this is actually a UI text that is connected to the camera, so it only pops up when the level is done. So that is the completion of this level. This is level 1. I'm going to take you a little bit under the hood now, and I'm going to show you how these things are dynamically created. So let me pull up the JSON for this. So let's reload that. And so this is the level 1 JSON. So as you can see, we have some basic things. Levels. This is the definition of the grid. So that grid is actually dynamically created. This is the length and width. So it has 20 cells by 20 cells, and it's 0 above the ground. So it sits at a height of 0. This is the starting position. So this is 30 by 30, which puts it inside the center of the terrain. And these are the actual cell sizes. So this cell size is 2 meters by 2 meters. And this gives us the robot's starting position. So for instance, if we were to change this like this, and I were to reload the level, let me stretch this out. So let's get to the right scene first. And inside the ship. So the dynamic level is created right off here to the side. So when I press the play button, as long as I saved my JSON, it should now create a slightly altered level with the robot position. Oops, I forgot to turn off maximize. So let me turn that off. Okay, so we turned off maximize. So now you have the pause scene. Okay, so you see I scooted the robot over. He's 10, which actually puts him 5 blocks over from what he was. And then I can also do similar things with like terrain. For instance, if I were to, so this is the obstacle JSON. This is the array of obstacles. If I were to delete this object right here, you should not see it anymore. This is the object right here. It is this object right there. So if I relaunch the program, that object should now be gone. And it is gone. It's no longer there. So basically this week we spent a large majority of the time developing this level manager. This level manager allows us to create some simple JSONs that construct this level dynamically, and then we can just alter it any way we want by doing the JSON. We can alter the robot's position. We can alter objectives. This objective is put there dynamically. We can alter any of the obstacles on the grid. We can alter the grid starting size, the grid size, cell size, all that fun stuff. So that's the major things we got done today. This week we've got done the level manager. We put in the looping for the components. We did not get the conditionals in yet. We're still working on that. We got in the ability to apply a movie to a canvas, which is what we're going to be using for the tutorials. We'll just attach that to the camera. We readjusted some of the cameras, so now that the Skycam's over the robot, and then we have the third-person view, and then we also played around with moving between the scenes and adding and deleting of the floppy disks and using some of the data off those floppy disks. So that is This Week in Planet Foobar. Bye.